Hello, and welcome to the latest edition of TeachKind's video series. Today's topic is Introduction to TeachKind Resources. In this video, we'll introduce you to the variety of free resources available to K-12 educators from TeachKind, and we'll highlight some of these resources and how they connect to academic objectives. TeachKind is the humane education division of People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. We work with teachers in schools around the country to help them integrate compassion for animals into their curriculum. We do this by conducting teacher workshops, doing outreach at educational conferences, providing free lessons and resources, and working with teachers directly in their classrooms. All our materials and services are provided at no cost to educators or schools. Now I'm going to ask you to move a little. Shake your hands in the air and then clasp them together. Now shake your hands in the air and clasp them together again, but with the opposite thumb on top. How did it feel the second time? A little strange, a little different. That's how you might feel when hearing new ideas and new perspectives. So I'd like to ask you to keep an open mind today. New perspectives encourage growth. And just as we teach our students to continuously improve and grow and learn and change, well, that's good for us to do as educators too. Working with different people can prompt different ideas and perspectives that lead us to accomplish our goal of educating children academically, as well as helping them develop socially and emotionally. Now, you already work hard to establish a positive, friendly classroom culture at the beginning of the school year. We have some activities on our website, TeachKind.org, in the Back to School section that can help you establish kind standards and practices and include animals in that conversation. For example, just as we take the time to make sure our students know that it's not appropriate to hurt other humans, it's equally important to talk to them about treating the animals they may encounter with kindness and respect. So if an insect or another small animal makes their way into your classroom, let your students know that they don't need to panic or squish them. Instead, we encourage teachers to make an insect rescue kit with their students during the first few weeks of school and model what to do should they spot an uninvited guest. Place a plastic toy spider on the ground and demonstrate how to handle the situation humanely. First, raise your hand and calmly announce the presence of the uninvited guest. Remind students that they should never attempt to pick up an insect or other animal on their own. Then, using your insect rescue kit, carefully capture the spider. Show students how to set the animal free outside. Explain that insects and other small animals are just trying to find food or shelter when they come into our classrooms, and that no animal should be harmed or killed. Better yet, make insect rescuer a classroom job. This helps to set a standard of kindness and model a kind practice. You can find directions for creating an insect rescue kit and download a free classroom poster at TeachKind.org. Now, these acts may seem small, but for a child still learning about the world and how to interact with other living beings, they can have an indelible impact. We want our students to get into the habit of being thoughtful about their actions, not thoughtlessly killing or harassing other sentient beings and disregarding the golden rule, whether it's an interaction with an insect, a pigeon, or any other animal. We want to spark their wonder and instill respect for all living beings. And that can start with even the ones who are not so cute and cuddly. Another great way to integrate empathy across the curriculum is to use what we like to call the empathy ball. This type of activity helps get students to participate and open up. You can tailor questions to different subjects in a way that invites them to talk about their feelings towards animals. Simply blow up a medium-sized beach ball and write thought-provoking, empathy-focused questions all over it. Some examples related to social studies are, what should you do if you see geese crossing the street? Or, what should you do if you see someone fall? Some examples of science-related questions would be, how can people be kind to animals in the wild? And how are humans and other animals the same? You can find more examples at teachkind.org. Have students stand in a circle, gently toss the empathy ball around, and answer the question nearest to their right thumb when they catch the ball. The empathy ball is a fun, lighthearted way to talk about the importance of being kind to everyone, including animals. TeachKind has a great empathy building program called Share the World that we provide elementary teachers and schools with for free. For more information about this program, please watch our Share the World Building Character Through Compassion for Animals video. Since units about animals are typically already part of the curriculum, there are good opportunities to integrate lessons on empathy. This is an example of the way compassion for animals can be incorporated into a science unit on animal coverings, which is common at the elementary level. On the left is a text about pigeons with empathy-building questions such as, how do pigeons feel about their squabs? Explain your answer. And on the right is a video and discussion activity about a truck driver who rescued a chicken who had fallen off a truck. In this case, we're integrating empathy for animals with feathers. So children can learn the academic content of which animals have fur, scales, or feathers, while remembering that animals are more than just body parts, and that they have feelings too. We also have comic books geared towards students 12 and under. The stories translate the realities faced by different animals into age-appropriate content for children. Topics such as the lives of cows used for leather, chickens used for food, animals used in experiments, and dogs chained outside are accompanied by gentle illustrations and easy-to-understand language. You can order a free class set of each comic at teachkind.org. TeachKind has developed different reading games for the classroom to use with these comics that will foster empathy and have students practice an academic skill at the same time. The inferencing game, which you see displayed on the screen, has students read the comic, answer questions by using their prior knowledge and evidence from the text to make inferences, and then record this information on a graphic organizer. We also have a main idea game that has students read the comic, match supporting details to the corresponding main idea, and then record their answers on a student worksheet. Now, these stories will very likely spark a lot of discussion among students, so you can use this as an opportunity to build empathy for other living beings while students increase their reading comprehension skills. And if students want to read more about these animal issues, they can find information at PETAKids.com under Animal Facts. This site is geared towards children 12 and under. Most science curricula include a unit on the impact of humans on the environment, but rarely do these lessons address the effects of animal agriculture, which requires massive amounts of land, food, energy, and water, and results in polluted land, water, and air, and causes immense animal suffering. Globally, animal agriculture is responsible for more greenhouse gases than all the world's transportation systems combined. Even the United Nations has acknowledged that raising animals for food is one of the top 2 or 3 most significant contributors to the most serious environmental problems at every scale from local to global. Our debate resource kit, Is Animal Agriculture Harmful to the Environment?, provides teachers with important information needed to supplement these units and provide students with support for their arguments in a debate on animal agriculture and the environment. Our collective actions also have an impact on other animals. Fishing in its various forms, for example, not only kills billions of fish every year, who, by the way, can feel pain according to scientific research, but also negatively affects other sea and terrestrial life. Use our fishing activities to teach about the human impact on the environment to help students understand fishing's impact and that fish deserve our consideration. It's no longer enough to teach our students to recycle or turn off the faucet while they're brushing their teeth. If we want to avoid doing irreparable damage to the environment, we must be willing to discuss and implement real solutions to the climate crisis, starting with changing what we eat. Generation Z, who we're teaching in the schools right now, is not afraid to learn about this issue and take action. In fact, you'll find that they're hungry for it. A record number of young people participated in the global climate strike in September 2019, a perfect example of this. This is an example of a lesson that centers on a documentary regarding the way animals are treated in the Iditarod. TeachKind provides a way to access the film for free and discussion questions, as well as a graphic organizer to help students take a position and organize their ideas about whether dogs should be used for racing. It's likely that students have read books or seen movies about the Iditarod that didn't tell the full story regarding what happens to dogs behind the scenes. This documentary provides first-hand accounts and factual evidence about the cruelty of the race and allows students to engage in higher-order critical thinking. Stories of humans helping animals are all over the internet, and sharing them with your students is an excellent way to encourage kindness both in and out of the classroom. Because most children naturally feel compassion for animals, sharing rescue stories is a great way to engage and motivate different types of learners and encourage them to take action to help end animal suffering. TeachKind's Rescue Stories series includes student texts for grades K to 2, 3 to 5, 6 to 8, and 9 to 12. The texts are based on true stories and have key vocabulary words identified. Also included is a worksheet with reading comprehension questions in order to encourage literal, inferential, and evaluative thinking. Here's an example of how TeachKind creates different empathy-building activities to accompany books with a humane theme that can easily be incorporated into an ELA block of time. Some students need to work on developing both self-awareness and social awareness, which will help them with relationship skills. TeachKind's Emotions Dice game can help with that. Hobbs Goes Home is a story about a sweet dog who overcomes adversity and finds a loving home. It's full of expressive illustrations, which are excellent in helping students identify similar situations and feelings that they and others might share with Hobbs. So students learn that recognizing our own emotions can help us have more control over the way we feel and act toward other humans and animals. You can find more literature-themed activities at teachkind.org under Humane Books. Our standards regarding the acceptable treatment of others are conveyed through our language. And since the words that we use have the power to influence those around us, we can look at the many everyday phrases such as beat a dead horse and kill two birds with one stone that may seem harmless, but carry meaning and can send mixed signals to students about the relationship between humans and animals. Teaching students to use animal-friendly language such as feed a fed horse and feed two birds with one scone can cultivate positive relationships among all beings. And it's a fun way to engage kids. A poster set of animal-friendly idioms for teachers is available for free. You can download it at teachkind.org. So if we can get kids to think more compassionately, and if we can be an example of the way doing little things can really add up, we'll be making a big difference. Learning is both cognitive and emotional. And brain research tells us that if we tap into the emotional domain while reaching the cognitive domain, students will retain so much more of the content, and the information will move into their long-term memory. We know kids love animals, so we can use that natural tendency to motivate them academically as well as help them develop empathy. So now that you've learned about some of TeachKind's resources for grades K to 12, we hope you're excited to start using them. Please visit teachkind.org to find even more lessons and activities to help you foster empathy in students while simultaneously meeting academic objectives. And please feel free to contact us directly at info@teachkind.org with any questions. We're here to support compassionate educators like you.